if that doesn't give you chills, you're never going to get them.
As good as it gets.
Spokane, Washington, a reminder of the velocity of soccer's rise in the United States in this World Cup year. Nico Brett is among the best goal scorers in the championship, looking to find his goal-scoring stride in League One. Well, Ryan Carmichael is on pace for a career year for Madison as they hang right at the playoff line. A game apart in the standings, Spokane and Madison, right now on CBS Sports Network. You're watching the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. We come to you from the state of Washington, Spokane Velocity, ready to take on Forward Madison. Kind of weather that requires the shades, and two sides that are right near the playoff line in USL League One. Charlotte, Omaha, Knoxville lead the way. Spokane is in striking distance, and Madison just 3 points off Velocity in 5th place. Come on in, everybody, with Devin Kerr, Mike Watts on hand, and this is the game all of American soccer has been waiting all day for. We're glad you're with us on this Wednesday night. Now, Devin, when you think about both these teams, plenty of success in the past, and two sides that continue to find new ways to step forward in USL League One.
It tasted success, right? But have yet to summit the mountaintop, and you have to evolve. No two teams in League One combined have lost more finals over the last 24 months. So getting there is one thing, but finding a way to break through is another. So you have to change. Forward Madison has done that. Open run of play, more direct, more physical, but as they become more expansive, they've also created confrontation that's led to a lot of set-piece opportunities. And man, have they been efficient. But they don't reinvent the wheel in doing it. With nearly half their goals coming from dead ball situations, this is about brute force. It's about a commitment to numbers in and around the 6-yard box and just throwing all of your will to find a way to get the ball over the line. The best part of their attack has been from restarts.
The Flamingos unafraid to stick their neck out on set pieces. Conversely, Spokane with the velocity of their buildup. Let's go ahead of the curve.
Head coach Lee Viedman has been very clear from the beginning. He wants to dominate the ball and the proceedings possessionally over the course of the night's proceedings. But within that, they became a little bit predictable. Teams start to sit lower defensively. Now in the final third, you have to be more aggressive to find success. How do you do that? Well, it's quicker ball movement, number one. Number two, a lot faster decision-making and movement off the ball. But for this team to take a step to the next level on the attacking front, this is going to be about the secondary and third runs pushing into the 18-yard box. Their midfield has been more aggressive, but it's got to come up a notch if they want to make a run at another cup final.
Spokane, League One finalists each of the last 2 seasons. Madison, for all their theatrics, continue their rise in League One. It's Velocity and Forward Madison next on CBS Sports Network. It's the USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Coming out in the lilac and cow kits, it is Forward Madison and Spokane Velocity from One Spokane Stadium in the second largest city in the state of Washington. With Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, take a look at the Spokane lineup unchanged from their last game.
Head coach Lee Veidman once again rolls out his 4-2-3-1. Structure on both sides of the ball and consistency is what Spokane is looking for. That's got to start at the back with Cameron Miller at the left center back spot. Good possession moving forward, dominance in the midfield, utilizing the space that Forward Madison is going to offer up in transitional moments, and as we showcased in the open, cutbacks as the secondary efforts. Now, head coach Matt Glazer is suspended due to the red card he picked up against Fort Wayne. Patrick Nyarko steps in as the acting head coach. The only thing that changes is the voice of reason on the sideline. They're 3-4-2-1, 3-4-3, very quick when they start to move back to front. I'm watching Josh Ballin, though. He's come into his own as one of those center midfielders. Now that he's playing a little bit higher, the connection point to get into the other two attackers, very important in transitional moments.
So we're ready to go in Spokane. This is where the U.S. will be playing the state of Washington on Monday in their next match at the World Cup. As for this Spokane side, they've found quite the home here. It's done in Santa Clara, so let's get going in Spokane. Underway, USL League One on CBS Sports Network. Velocity, welcome Forward Madison. Three points apart in the standings. Spokane has played one more game than Madison. The 17-team table seemingly is in constant motion at the moment. Alexandra brings it forward in the lilac. Taken out to pasture by Madison. Alexandra yanks this back. Heel. Double-digit goal contributions each of the last 3 years. They're using the same chimes as they do at the World Cup. I believe they've just announced the U.S. score here. It was because of the grass that they put in to Lumen Field in Seattle that both the Sounders and Seattle Reign both actually utilized this venue as a home venue in various competitions throughout the start of the year.
Certainly everything for Spokane, really from the get-go. Their inaugural season 2 short years ago has been top quality ownership group, ambition on and off the pitch. That's going to be a problem.
And that's about as early as you can pick up a card. Mark Segber's into the book in the second minute.
And within that ambition has come quality results. Again, runners-up in both 24 and 25 in the USL League One title. Really good with the ball at their feet when they open up the game. They do well in tight-knit windows, but being able to break down a team like Forward Madison, who defensively this season can barricade themselves just outside the top of the 18. Good vision there from Derek Waldeck moving up high.
Waldeck and Heel stand over the ball. Segbers picks up his 4th yellow in 202 minutes this year. Only his 3rd start of the season. Heel, that's a delicious ball back across the face. Cleared away. Brought in by Heel. Carried forward by Waldeck. Outside, Brett crossing. Cleared out for a corner.
They're going to want this one back, Spokane. How does Cameron Miller not go to goal? Center back really unselfish in the moment. Attack right here. I mean, an acreage of space to just drive right through it and put it on frame. Beautiful ball. Really nice angle. No one covering the tall center back. Missed opportunity for the home squad.
Waldeck delivers. Madison do a bit better this time getting it out. Waldeck. Blocked by Segbers. Well, the talk at the outset about Madison being the set piece team, and it's Spokane in front of goal that's providing the most early concern.
What a wild number, by the way. 48%, nearly half for forward Madison of their goals have come from dead ball situations. Immediately, head coach Lee Wiedman pointing that out when talking about the scout that we can do a lot of things in the run of play.
This ball drops down toward Bratt. Still trying to pull away with it. Pops high, Waldeck, and this shot ripped off the hands of J.T. Harms. Not of harm's way.
Now being able to deny them in those tight closed areas where about one-on-one markings is where you have to be at your best. Spokane has actually done quite well just 5 minutes into this game. Although it's not the open field like we showcased in the opening minutes in the tactical breakdown, really good job by Andre Lewis. Sits idly by atop the 18, slowly step into the space. You go too early, you close the window. Nice play from Spokane.
The ensuing corner. Entire game's been played down in this end. You think that has more than 4 panels?
just a bit. I wouldn't mind the wig, though. I feel like that would go over well in my household over the weekend's events. Christmas is right around the corner, you know.
And then you can wear it next year.
Exactly. See, we're always on the same page. The shoe on the other foot.
All Spokane here at the outset. Coming off a 2-1 win against Westchester. Saw them end a 3-game losing skid at the hands of Portland, Alta, and Knoxville. Maybe a chance to run out here for the first time. Broken up and brought down to Alexandra and through. Rolled out to Torres. Well, you can say a lot of things about Madison, but the first thing that comes to mind is they are the most creative marketing club in the country, bar none. One of the OGs of League One. This is probably their most unique kit. It's circulated through. Pink on cow. All the way back to Carmichael.
Sounds like jealousy coming from you, not frustration.
Yeah, that's it. Here's Segbers.
It'll certainly be a different look for forward Madison in terms of personnel tonight. Kenny Kenyane, their wing back on the left side, unavailable. That'll force Eddie Manjoma over there. Derek Gebhardt, club's all-time leading scorer on that front line. He's unavailable as well. Slight injury to more precautionary in nature. That's where Josh Bulma comes into play, and Claudel Ngubu also on the attacking front, unavailable due to suspension.
Patrick Nyarko, 10 years in MLS, former Ghanaian international, initially came to the U.S. to play at Virginia Tech and had remarkable success there. Matt Glazer out for a second consecutive game. No one's calling him the Bobby Cox of USL just yet. But he did earn the suspension, I think. And navigate a shred of space. Got by McCamey. Flicked outside. This is promising for Madison.
One of the fun things that you can do here if you're forward Madison in the absence of Derek Gebhardt is get more creative with Josh Bulma. He's really comfortable playing in these center spots just in front of Ramon Torres, Jackson Castro, especially as they release their third center back off that left side. Colin McCamey, when he bumps up in real quick, 4-man midfield, lets those two strikers pop up even higher, put more pressure on the back line, more freedom within the midfield to be creative.
Saw McCamey set to take the set piece. Aim for that front post. And I think, Devin, the thing about the set pieces, we can talk about how crazy it is, nearly 50% of their goals this year. But it is very much a studied thing in Matt Glazer's career path. Listening to the talk about being the set piece specialist as a coach at RSL and his time studying that process, there's a way to do it with 1,000 plays, and they did that at Real Salt Lake. That's not how they're getting their success here.
He would sit down, had full-blown tactical sessions, laser pointer, screen on how they were going to attack the opposition. And to your point, the funny thing about it is it's not a dry race where you're running screen plays and this, that, and the other, and instead a little bit more direct in nature. Old school method, serve it into the box, go up and win it.
Speaking of, Waldeck skims out to Simon Fitch. Pulled off by Lewis. Heel puts it wide. Well, this is right out of Devin's tactical video. Takes a deflection en route.
And what you will get for forward Madison on those dead balls is numbers committed in. You'll try and create mismatches numerically, but also a little bit of luck. And I will say there's been some luck for Spokane to start this game. Good ball possession up high, but these bounces that are popping back off, matriculating over the end line, allowing them to test the set piece theory defensively against forward Madison. Good retention.
The latest set piece for Spokane. Swung in, Harms came for it. Fernandez. Sun rapidly setting in Spokane. Game time that did get moved back to accommodate the U.S. round of 32 game in the World Cup, so as to not be identically concurrent. Back to Carmichael. Well, suffered by Boma. Ford Madison pushed into the final third. The offside flag is raised. No VAR in the championship. The benefit of not having semi-automated offside. There's Lee Wiedemann, third year as Spokane's head coach. Led them to the League One final in 24 and 25. And Devin, as we spoke to him, reminded us, well, he was on the staff in 23 in Charleston. So is a serial winner, serial competitor. 3 straight finals. Coaches dream of that, but they don't dream of dropping all 3. And it does very clearly drive him.
He had quite the chuckle, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's sort of the glass half empty was his view. We were a little bit more positive in nature, and
Yeah, he had to remind himself that certainly he did get to what should have been the promised land, albeit falling just short. But the ambition that has come alongside his own project at Spokane, leaving the championship club in the Eastern Conference, coming to League One. What sort of resources would be available? Are you able to not only spearhead your group within the white lines, but also play GM and leader off?
Oh, whipped across the byline, cleared off the line. And now maybe Madison can make something of this. Circulated back to Sean Lewis. Twice reigning goalkeeper of the year in League One. Harms. Picked up by Heel. It's outside by Fernandez. Here's Lewis. Waldeck angling. Finally impeded, so he slips it ahead. Too far for Fitch.
Really good ball retention by Spokane, but let's go back to the last chance. Near identical to the breakdown we showcased in the open. Players around the ball, ton of movement off. Isolation down in the wing, and you don't hit the panic button right away. Just because the chance pops out doesn't mean you have to play it. Smartly brought down to calm this down onto the byline by Derek Waldeck. A retreat of numbers by forward Madison, absolutely. But really nice build from Spokane, starting at the midfield point.
One of the better defensive teams in the league. Madison been under siege, and Lewis, a couple really good chances already.
One of the issues they're having right now is exactly where the defensive mark comes from. Not on the initial step, but the second and third one in your rotations. So Josh Malboma's got to be a little bit quicker to drop down underneath and assist the midfield. And Carmichael has been active. We've seen Stephen Anor up top in that 9, but with all the movement, you're still getting mismatches, 3v2s and 4v3s for Spokane on the inside. That's a death sentence if they don't start to match up quicker.
Waldeck plays at central. Colin Fernandez, ultimate pro, guy who knows how to play to his strength. Slip ahead. Waldeck denied. Go over the top. Lewis quells the threat. And let's tell you, tomorrow at 9 Eastern, don't miss the Toronto Argonauts taking on the Calgary Stampeders in a Canadian Football League showdown right here on CBS Sports Network. It's a positive turn into the penalty area. That's a laser. Sent above the crossbar.
It's more frustration than anything approaching the 20-minute mark for forward Madison. On their heels the majority of this first half. Ramon Torres, as he collects here, this is where you want to see retention. bring this ball down to your feet. Too many players in front. Hit with a hope and a prayer, and instead rotate back to the outside. They're great aerially. Why not play down into the channel, keep it, move the opponent side to side.
Speared down to Lewis. Brett organizing, leading on. Schwanzon Brown. And Alexandre, apologies, 17, not 11.
I love the idea behind this, though. They try and play direct with Colin McCamey coming off the back line. Smart by Nico Brett, recognizing that he doesn't have the speed to step in quickly against Carmichael and Torian. Instead, waiting for support to come up from underneath. It's still crazy to think, and I say this in the nicest of ways, that Nico Brett is tied for the 4th most goals in USL Championship history. What a pickup that is for Lead Wiedmann to get him up top in the 9 position.
32 goals at Pittsburgh. He was a trialist there, believe it or not, at first. 39 at Birmingham.
Of course, USL Championship, 2nd division in the United States. League One, 3rd. One of the main reasons why Nico Brett's success on the front line hasn't translated to the statistical jumps. Just 1 goal and 2 assists in 9 matches on the season. They're having a little bit of trouble with tempo. So the overall build, easy to play into his feet, find him in the quick moments in behind. He's excellent at back shoulder runs, but when it doesn't go your way in the initial threat and you get pinned down in, you talk about the 2nd level that you can play into, the 3rd platform, if you will. He's not a part of that. Now he's pinned up against 2 center backs, so rotation back to the other side, movement off the ball to free up space. That's on his own accord as well. Certainly, it should come with time.
Alexandra picks up the foul from Spokane. Careful there, Lee. Spokane head coach testing out the footwear.
Already saw that from Matt Glazer in the Fort Wayne game.
Don't need to see it again.
Easy enough to understand the great career that was. 99.9% of the time, it worked every time. Inside the 6-yard box as a goalkeeper. And I'm sure I'm going to hear it from him after the fact, but form faltered a bit on his follow-through.
Well, the goalkeepers in his time not asked to play as much out of the back.
Yeah.
I say about one of the younger coaches in American soccer, met with complete irony. The fans actually had free Glazer signs. Waldeck taps ahead. Waldeck plays even. Fits wide. And out of room. I was wondering who that masked man was on the trombone.
I feel like you're more of a wins section. Nice touch there.
This would be a great time for a hydration break. We won't get one, but Alexandra chipped ahead, seeking Brett. Touchdown for a corner. One-way traffic continues.
They're giving you different looks, though. That's the important thing. 24 minutes in. a lot deep in enemy territory on cutbacks. They've gone direct twice, but now it's changing again. Well done. You have to give a different identity for this grouping on the front line, especially as you continue to push forward Madison back. They will concede space. It's just stepping in at the right moment.
Well, it's the latest corner now for Spokane. Comes high, turned away from Fernandez, heel, and entanglement above the penalty spot. Roman Torres back to his feet.
Just watch the far left side of your screen as they work back against the grain, and oof. Incidental, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
It's to a JT Harms free kick. Loved hearing Matt Glazer, goalkeeper himself, describe him as a goalkeeper's goalkeeper, right? Brad nearly took it away.
And that old school mentality for JT Harms. Had an opportunity to sit down with he and his assistant coach Christian Lamelli at the 2022 College Cup when he was with Indiana. And an interesting breakdown of the profile of JT Harms. Now understand that Roman Celentano, part of the national team pool for United States squad. He had the intangible of being that athletic type goalkeeper that struggled for the commanding presence, the leadership aspect, so they didn't have to stoke that fire whatsoever with JT Harms. Cerebral, most goalkeepers are, but a little bit intricate in their ways, we'll say.
Long dragging run across the top of the 18.
And the fact that he wasn't given the same sort of opportunity, we'll say, as Roman Celentano shouldn't be overlooked at the pure talent that the young man possesses in goal for the Mingos. Really vocal guy, willing to throw his weight around, and darn good shot stopper as well.
Castro. Never got to Segbers. Lewis drives the attack forward. Alexandra. Miami born, moved to Montreal as a kid. Floated down, cleared on the cross from Waldeck. Here's Miller. Turns 27 tomorrow. Local guy. Welcome Community College into Western Washington for 3 years, then Seattle U. Service driven through for Spokane.
Rather than give the advantage to Lewis, they will blow play dead, give a free kick. The referee for this game, Justin St. Pierre.
A little surprised that he didn't give it another second or so to see if Lewis would have been able to continue his run inside the top of the 18. To your point, space readily available for the midfield. I mean, look where the ball is. Could have been a tackle as well, to be fair. But to let that play out and then bring it to the infraction point, well, he better suited in the moment. Certainly while the sun is an issue here for Spokane on the service in, that won't be the same for JT Harms in goal with his back to it.
Service through is a fairly creative concept, setting that screen around the edge. But there was a push. So we hit the half-hour mark.
At left center. Certainly the shirt swap normally occurs after 90 minutes. I think we've established those ground rules, as they would say.
Devin, if there's one jersey that you're taking from a Spokane player, wouldn't it be his? It's Gagi for short. Mark Velashvili, the native of Georgia, the other one.
I might be on the doorstep of Cameron Miller, to be fair. While I recognize the name is not as a flashy, the game certainly speaks for itself.
That's not usually how I decide which kit to take.
Yeah, I know.
I decide which one makes me look most like a barnyard animal and get that.
Just look at the right center side of your screen. That's a better step there from Torres. They've been missing in that half space.
Back heel opens up play that takes a deflection and gets in. The opening goal after all the Spokane pressure belongs to Honor and forward Madison.
And as this back three starts to move for forward Madison, you want to watch the right side of your screen. Beautiful notice by the midfield of the space you need to get into. McCamey comes off the back line as he drops 15 yards. Look at the referee's left shoulder. Beautiful. Torres through. Boma still high. Bodies in the box. And now you're looking for one-on-one situations. This is about pressure for Stephen Honor. Though he doesn't have a direct path to goal, he's 2v1 against two trees on that back line of Spokane. Really good timing to put them under pressure. Quality ball in, and then a little luck never hurt to put the Mingos out in front.
They're saying it was Mark Velashvili who got the touch on that. It's deemed an own goal in the 31st minute, so they won't get his kit, but they will take the goal. And Madison 1-0 ahead. Well, it's a Madison team that suffered here at the outset. You know, their turf was redone over the offseason back home in Wisconsin, so a ton of road games. They've talked about hoping that there's resilience built through all that more home games are coming. They play 5 straight at home going into the start of August, including 4 in the league and 1 in the USL Cup. But they're 3 unbeaten right now, and all that pressure they took, they end up catching Spokane.
About 5 minutes in, said to you, one of the things that you can take advantage of, and I say it in the nicest of ways, in the absence of your leader on the attacking front, Derek Gebhardt, again, all-time club leader in goals, is the movement you can get out of the midfield. How quickly it can become a 4-man game instead of 2 flat with Torres and Castro side by side. That's great work right off the ball. Boma, McCamey combining with their runs into space. Then the ability of isolation by Torres up into the midfield. Great service into the box. It's one single thing that looks negative on paper because Derek Gebhardt is out. And you don't want that. But the understanding of how you can recreate success moving forward with absolute perfection by forward Madison.
Gebhardt 32 goals. But it's Stephen Honor who creates the ultimate pressure on Gagi at the end.
What a run Josh Ballma's been having for this team since coming in. Looking for a second lease on life. Former high draft pick from Maryland. Needed belief in his game, needed fitness as well. They've gotten all that and more early on in his tenure under Matt Glazer and forward Madison. I love the versatility that he gives you in many a different look within the midfield, playing him up high, and certainly his speed that you can take advantage of with creativity on the outside.
Von John Brown into the corner. Watch out. There he goes up the byline. And slices that back at JT Harms.
I'm almost interested to see Spokane in a response now absorb a little bit of pressure, pull forward Madison out of their comfort zone, and start to utilize that man's speed more frequently. Meji Alexandra on the left side, the loanee from the Charleston Battery. You can take advantage of his too. Nice little 1-2 punch on the width of the field to open the game up and be a little less predictable right now.
Madison 3 unbeaten, last 3+ games, 10 goals scored. They've allowed just 1. And a game or 2 less played than the teams ahead of them in the standings as they entered the night on 8th place. All won by Alexandra. Signed a 25-day in Charleston and then extended it through the end of the year and promptly got sent on loan up to Spokane. Long run down into the channel. Familiar setting here for Madison, and this lace toward the near post. Doesn't provide a threat to Lewis in the end. It's Eddie Manjoma.
Front line, much more charismatic in nature with movement by Ryan Carmichael and Josh Ballma. The understanding that Stephen Honor is almost always going to be the spearhead for this attack, allowing that front three to be creative, to be vertical, takes the pressure off your wingbacks, allows them to help control working outside in.
Turned over. And immediate retribution. Madison recovers. Charging into the penalty area. Lewis got a piece. And sent further by Fitch.
That's a good move. Josh Balmont works to the near touchline again, but an even better save by Sean Lewis. Listen, you are going to concede space. It's going to happen. But minimizing the quality of opportunity that you're giving up to the opponent, very important. As you push to the outside, it makes the save easier for Lewis. And the deflection he gives up, pushed to a low percentage opportunity on the follow-up.
Meanwhile, it's Harms on the other end. It's down to turn away Meji Alexandra. Nor came wide open, space through the central channel. Waldeck dribbles out. Fitch, who grew up going to Kickers games, ended up playing 4 years for his hometown team and now makes the switch out west. Fernandez. Mendez puts it wide. Spokane in the Lilac kits, the Lilac City. It's a venue built in the North Bank district. And the highest elevation.
Yeah, opening minutes for Spokane, a lot more adventurous. With Derek Waldeck coming off the back line, the way that he was inverting, I'd like to actually bring him back to the outside now. They've done a really good job forward Madison of eliminating threats down the middle with all the bodies they've connected on the inside. So take advantage of that space. Meji Alexander doesn't have the ability to play through anybody. Ball works to the near touchline. It's 2v1 against him. Now the game at times can be very predictable. Take advantage of what's being thrown at you.
Oh, that's a nice ball. Settled. Brett squares, heel, further. And this blasted across the face of goal. Never did reach. Plenty of appeals, Waldeck and Siobhan John Brown, that should be a corner. And now it's been given.
The good news is you get an opportunity out of this. The bad news is it still should be much higher in terms of overall efficiency. The quality look at goal. Could have hit it there. Could have hit it the second time. You don't need a touch there. Come across it with your left foot. Little moments like this that help get you back into the game and restore confidence that should have been an equalizer.
Siobhan John Brown, who's played a ton for Grenada over the years. Playing short through heel. And up from Anor. Lewis, Alexandra, Waldeck.
It's great defending. I mean, really smart veteran defending by Mark Segbers on the back end of this. That's the 2v1 I was talking about. Great utilization of the overlap, but look, just play the angles game. Old school shoulder to shoulder, usher him over the end line. Top notch from Mark Segbers.
Talk veteran defending, 30-year-old. Came into the league out of Wisconsin. At Swope Park, Memphis, then Miami, Charleston the last 3 years. Ulm helping to converge, wasn't able to hold on to it for Madison in the end. Spokane continued to search out an equalizer. Madison this year, 3 wins on the road in 8 tries. Spokane 7 wins in 8 home games this year. They've been excellent. .40 seconds to go in this first half. Well, Devin, if we saw one of those momentum charts that we've seen prominently displayed throughout the World Cup, I think we'd know, probably be painted lilac for the majority of the half, but it really doesn't matter.
And not at all. You're going into the dressing room up 1-0. And the way that you want to attack the game tactically for forward Madison used to be about ball dominance, quality possession, and while they still possess that ability, suffering off the ball has become very apparent. And top quality as well. Give them credit. Couldn't sniff the opposite half of the field for the opening 20 minutes. Nick a goal, gain some momentum, and they've got their lead heading into the dressing room.
Madison could catch Spokane in the standings, move into a tie for 5th in League One, just outside the home playoff places. Familiar setting for Madison side on the upswing after missing the postseason a year ago. Shades on, wigs on, and Madison with the opening goal. A 1-0 go-ahead, deemed an own goal from Gagi. USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Halftime coming up. USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Velocity and the Mingos 1-0 Madison at halftime. They're only 3 points apart, so a big 3 points on the line on this Wednesday, as we hope you're looking forward to a great holiday weekend. How about we take a look around the out-of-town scores to start Week 18. Charlotte continues their good run. Chattanooga picks up a win on Westchester.
Mike Jeffries just refuses to go away. The Independents setting League One ablaze, 11 games unbeaten in all competitions right now, including 9 in League One. And a friendly reminder, one of 3 teams with an opportunity to grab that crucial quarterfinal spot on July 11th in USL Prinks Tires Cup. Spokane, another one, by the way.
Indeed, and that's 67 wins for Mike Jeffries since the Independents joined League One. Take a look at the 4th of July schedule all around USL League One. You and I will have Boise and Knoxville tomorrow on ESPN2. And then Friday, some fun ones, Naples, Portland Hearts, and Pine. And how about Saturday, 4th of July? Great way to celebrate the holiday.
I love that Fort Wayne Spokane game because of both teams' commitment to just utter domination of the ball to find success. Love both projects. Obviously, Fort Wayne and their inaugural year in League One, though nearly a half-decade of success already for the League Two club prior to their arrival.
And when Alta and Charlotte are done, on the East Coast at least, it'll be a U.S. men's national team game day again. Meanwhile, here, Madison has the lead on Spokane. In the state, the U.S. will play their next World Cup match. The Mingos ahead. Halftime continues after this.
Welcome back. It's the USL on CBS Sports presented by Best Western. They're going full Mingo here in Spokane. 1-0 to forward Madison at the break. Come back into the booth, everybody, with Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, nowhere we'd rather be tonight as we think about where we stand, Devin, through 45 minutes, of which you'd say the first 20, Madison very well could have gotten blown right out of this thing. They hang in there, they get their goal.
Spokane dominated for sure, but this has sort of been Velocity's MO, where a lot of ball retention, lack creativity, and they let their opponents hang around. I give Matt Glazer's crew a ton of credit. You know, acting head coach Patrick Nyarko on the sideline would have said, listen, we are going to have to suffer for large moments of this game, and it was nearly a half hour. The good news for Lee Viebman was his team did create initially in front of the home fans. I love the work from outside in. They did have options into the box, but if you look around them, a ton of players in a forward Madison jersey. Now let's open the game up here. You be more direct, you're more versatile and flexible moving into the final 30 yards. Now you have the opportunity to attack. You get negative defending where defenders from opposition, they can't face the game. As a defender, one of the scariest things you have to do is look over your back shoulder with a ball in behind you, nearly find the opener. But now comes the response. So this predictable setup in the lineup 3-4-3, nah, that is not it. In the absence of Derek Gebhardt, Josh Boma on the front line, his creativity injected into this group nearly 10 games ago. Now you give him more freedom within the front three. Good rotation off the ball by him. Incredible ball by Castro. And while it is going to be marked down as an own goal, it's all about the pressure by Stephen Anor up top in the 9. Now it's back to Boma. He's on the opposite side. Ryan Carmichael on the crossing pattern. Final 10 minutes of this first half. He and Boma were incredible. The way that they interchanged, constantly causing problems against Spokane.
Take a look at the first half stats. Pretty compelling. And, you know, really for Madison, one shot on target, but it was an own goal that actually got over the line.
You want 10 shots that end up in the parking lot, or do you want one that hits the frame? You'll be efficient and you'll be happy. For me, Spokane in the second half, you have to be less predictable. Doesn't matter if you have 500 touches and all of it comes in your opponent's half. You have to be more creative, open the game up, show a variety of looks if you want to find success.
A star-spangled Wednesday night in Spokane. Madison, a 1-0 lead over Velocity. The second half is coming up next.
Travel Map is brought to you by Best Western. Josh Boma, every blade of grass.
Most accurate player in a forward Madison jersey in the first half, nearly 92% passing accuracy. But it's where it was at on the field with the ball at his feet, always within the final 35 yards or so. Working off the left, good communication with Ryan Carmichael on that front line to allow him to attack from the right as well. This attack for forward Madison continues to be flexible and adapt going forward, finding success in the process.
You mentioned Boma, comes out of the University of Maryland. He is a native Ghanaian, part of the Rising Stars Academy there, brought over to play high school ball in Connecticut. From New England to Houston, and now to Madison. On to the second half we go. Madison can't catch Spokane in the standings. We're talking a lot more about points per game, where they stand in the grander scheme of things, than being in 8th place at this stage. That's a good early ball through, and well eaten up by Madison. Well, apologies. I think I've done about 2,000 games in my career, and I gotta tell you, the Cow Kid is probably the toughest that I've ever tried to lay eyes on from a distance. So it is Cow and Lilac, the jerseys of choice tonight. Doggy. Pitchforked out of reach. And Alexandra out of real estate. Chipped away from him.
As much as I'd like to see Spokane continue to open the game up here, be a little bit more aggressive on the vertical side of the ball. Also, when they're pinned down in here, this is the challenge head coach Lee Wiedemann very clear about, that they will face against most opponents. So when you have to keep it, how can you continue to be flexible? One of the ways is allowing guys on the back post runs. If you're on this near touchline, allowing Siobhan John Brown, Nico Brett to attack instead of on cutting back patterns to try and play into their feet. Allow them to go up high, get to the byline, put the ball up in the air, and then try and find success. They've pretty much only explored one out of the two of those options within this match.
Eddie Manjoma. Slow and steady. Pumps the brakes, and that last touch a tad too heavy. That's asking a lot. Not a great giveaway, but cleared off the top of the 6. It's Madison at the edge of the final third. Contact inside the penalty area, not enough from the referee to blow the whistle. Justin St. Pierre. Segber's trying to work off the right side.
I like the move, though, from Ryan Carmichael. Slows things down. The top of the 18 allows his running mate, Josh Boma, to come over and support. The continued work rate off the ball by Mark Segbers is the argument from forward Madison, and the contact created inside the 18. They got a pretty good one there, too.
Harms rolls it, and Madison begin again. Trying to work through Manjoma. Harms felt the pressure. Velashvili. And the foul from Anor. You know, he's the first Virginia Cavalier, when he was freshman of the year, to score 10 or more goals for UVA since one Daryl DK. It's good company.
Was.
Remains. Actually trialed at Las Vegas and Union too, and then ended up going to Virginia. Was a first-round pick of Houston. Slid to the end of the first round. He was on Generation Adidas deal, which in MLS terms plays a significant role in salary cap management. Play back by Fitch. Here's Heel. Return. Nor 22 years young still. Had 6 goals with the Dynamo 2 last year.
And they love his work rate off the ball, forward Madison coaching staff does, and always getting to the right places. Struggling to finish his chances right now. Certainly reps and confidence will bring success in the long run. He's another one who he needs reps, continued successive reps at the pro level. From Montverde to UVA, didn't miss a step, to the Dynamo. And while opportunities came aplenty for him in MLS Next Pro, also picked up an injury, not a lot of sniffs with the first team. And then you start chasing your own self-confidence regardless of what the coaching staff thinks about you. And they certainly love him here, and confidence has quickly been restored for the youngster.
John Brown twirling through McCamey. Appears to get the worst of it.
It's one of the great things about young, promising players, Stephen Anor, that this country can take advantage of, but it's also one thing that can get in the way where maybe a player makes a jump too soon. I've always been very vocal about the fact that I didn't think he should leave UVA. The opportunity to continue to learn how to compete and play the game at a higher level than he did at Montverde, as opposed to stunting his progression at the senior level, where sure, the Dynamo saw talent, but then they parked him and they didn't allow him to continue to progress. Forward Madison has given him more of an opportunity and has seen more growth out of Stephen Anor in the last 4 months than the Dynamo did in 2 years.
Well, and I think we can say teams like Chelsea, right, where you're going, well, how do they have like 60 guys on their books on first team contracts? Well, if you're going to loan them out to the correct level to get proper minutes, it's a lot different than having 30 guys on first-team deals, including homegrowns and so on, and them not seeing minutes. Those are sort of really different approaches to it. Now that we've got this much more defined three-tiered system than in the past, I think it does change the dynamic of, is it better to play a 20-game season in the fall as a freshman and then jump into the pros? Is it best to go into the draft? Houston, do you do what we've seen some players do and usurp that path entirely and sign directly to League One or the championship? The world's changing pretty rapidly within the American professional soccer ecosystem.
Now, there's a reason why Forward Madison have been able to target the overall talent levels of players like Josh Balma and Steven Orr, two highly rated Generation Adidas players out of the MLS Super Draft just a few short years ago. Go harness it, cultivate it to your liking within your team, and then benefit moving forward.
Brought forward by Fitch, Siobhan John Brown. And Madison will charge up toward halfway. John Brown arriving.
Yeah, really good, working back against the grain.
It's worth noting when you look at Madison, you look at Matt Glazer, head coach, technical director. After they missed the playoffs last year, they went and added a sporting director in Matt Cairns, and former director of soccer ops at Huntsville City, which is the affiliate for Nashville, a club that's done really well navigating the draft and bringing players along. Historically, their roots come from USL. Roll this back. The goal was to be more versatile, more athletic, a style more catered to success in League One, a stylistic change that also saw them go younger and seek those aforementioned players on an upward trajectory. And if they win tonight, they'll slide right into fifth, Madison. And they've got a ton of home games on the back stretch of the season as well. This hit long, and Torres will run that to the line. You know, we mentioned Matt Glazer not on the sideline tonight, and we might as well show you why. This contact drew quite the opinion from the Mingos manager.
You can call it opinion. I'll say it's factual in nature that that should have been the dismissal of the center back from Fort Wayne. Instead, head coach Matt Glazer sent to the showers early. Form playing off the back line by the goalkeeper, never lacking. Although maybe his footwear choice in the technical area will be a different selection process moving forward. Acting head coach Patrick Niarco has stepped in his stead, and at least for now, has the Mingos flocking in the right direction. I'll see myself out.
Well, at least he stayed in the game here, because he did have a question, but he handled it a little differently.
I respect the frustration.
Yeah.
Emotion that came alongside it, because as much as it is frustration from the outside, that's more defensive in nature, taking care of your team, your players. The overall health and safety of an individual in the moment, but also
maybe a chance here for the Lilac men. That's off target from Brett, took a deflection off the keeper. This will be a corner.
Creating a fair and level playing field. That's not going to be a conversation for JT Harms, who just makes an unreal save on the near post. That's a really good touch. Coming up over the back shoulder to separate himself, Nico Brett, from the center back. And JT Harms read it to a T. to deny one of the best that the USL Championship has ever seen play at the 9 spot.
And now the corner for Spokane, the back heel. Vlashvili here trying to make up the 31st minute deemed own goal.
Certainly trying to target the space just in front of JT Harms. A little bit bigger in stature, the center backs are, Spokane, compared to forward Madison. Speaking with head coach Lee Wiedemann, very clear about the matchup against forward Madison. They were going to be dangerous on the counter. Yes, they're more direct and athletic. They don't need the ball at their feet as much, but that they can be super aggressive in the midfield and cause a lot of man-on-man situations, leaving gaps in behind. We're seeing all of that, except Spokane willing to hit the release trigger and open the game up. Talked about it 3 times in the opening 45 minutes, and yet a quarter hour into the second half here, still haven't dropped the hammer. I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Wiedemann goes to his bench here.
A bench that does include one of the more prolific playmakers in Pignols. Hernandez offers an option in wide areas. And you got the young Rocky Wells, Spokane native as well, in terms of attacking options for Wiedemann.
I throw Moses Mensah in there too.
Slid along here. Harms dives down, holds on to this from Siobhan John Brown. Spokane starts their push here after the hour mark. Could be a chance for Madison trying to enter the penalty area. Very kind deflection. Retains it for the Bovine Clad. And a foul short of halfway.
Right on cue, opening things up, Spokane. Love it. Direct off the back line. You challenge them in transition and allow yourself to run downhill.
John Brown. Fitch took a deflection, set piece coming. Spokane do have subs in the wings. Service up. Cattle got to it first. By the way, we mentioned the subs available for Spokane. For Madison, it is a really threadbare bench. Only 5 available field players on their bench tonight. Kenyane, Gubu, and Gebhard all unavailable. Spokane's got a full bench at least. It's in for Mark Vlashvili as they try and get a more attacking presence in. Colin Fernandez takes leave as well. And it is Colby and Pignols coming in.
Fernandez did well within the midfield. Stable performance next to Andre Lewis, but they need more creativity. Certainly you get that out of Pignols. And the now pairing of Covey on the back line is an interesting one. Come over from Carolina Core and MLS Next Pro over the past 2 seasons. Certainly the physical side of his game should assist, as well as his speed, where Gagi struggled in open transitions against that front line.
And a guy that they love in the air as well, which, given the number of set pieces they've accumulated, could prove worthwhile. Spewed forward, Lewis will track over. His 7th start this year, won the Golden Gloves, the Goalkeeper of the Year, and the double at Knoxville last year. See Knoxville tomorrow against Boise over on ESPN2. Let's take a look at the Best Western upcoming schedule. So we do have Boise playing host to Knoxville. That's the double winning side against the expansion team. Then we've got USL Cup action, San Antonio and Chattanooga on July 11th. Huge games coming up in that final match day of that group stage. Then Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, CBS Sports Network, July 15th. Before Pittsburgh plays host to Louisville, July 18th on CBS. Hounds winning the championship last year over Tulsa in penalties. See a Louisville side that's probably had a rockier season than they've ever experienced before. Maybe a chance to unload this from range. There was the chance. It didn't exactly play out. Or Alexandra. Eight goals for Kansas City, 2 last year.
And just to cap what will be a great display for the championship on CBS in mid to late July. It is interesting, the expectation of a Louisville team. You talk about being rocky, yet still in a home playoff position, still the #1 spot in their group in USL Prinks Tigers Cup.
Yep.
To the rich go the spoils. And marked men, they have always been.
Unfortunately for Simon Bird in the group there, to the rich go the critiques. Such the nature of being
nice touch.
Club that's been so good. There comes Spokane. Never snuck through.
Just more precise in the moment. Angie Alexandra. He had the run of Binyals down up underneath him, play him early. He can allow himself to get a touch in front and then go to goal instead. Window closes.
Newcomer acquired for a fee from Vegas just yesterday. Won't come on just yet, it appears. Now they'll make it. That's it for Segbers, who is on a yellow card. Manjoma off as well. And A.J. Edwards off the bench for the first time this year. Both sides have made a couple changes now. Corner Spokane. As a famed DJ / producer would say, another one. Pinyos. Soars high, Alexandra touches over. Circulated back toward Fitch, the header in front. That'll deflect wide. And yet another set piece to Spokane. It'll be Waldeck from this side. Twice a national champion over at Stanford before making the jump to the pros. Seeing that near post run. And McCamey made it difficult. Gets away from Miller. Here's the change. Forbes, acquired from Las Vegas, were only featured in 2 regular season games. Trialed at Brøndby before the COVID pandemic took hold out of the Orlando youth organization and in their championship side, Orlando City B, but ended up going on to 4 years at Wake Forest.
This is well past talent identification for Jelani Forbes. 5th team, 2.5 years. Recognizing 3 teams are on loan, including North Carolina FC towards the tail end of last season. an attack-minded player at the collegiate level with the Demon Deacons, who's trying to settle in a deeper position at that outside wingback spot.
Well done to slide that out to heel. Furthered by Brett. The intervention from the Mingos.
A big thing for Jelani Forbes as he moves forward in his career, and certainly under Matt Glazer on that back line, is going to be about belief in himself, that the coaches see success within him. Very mentally strong player that needs to have that constantly fed to him.
Fitch. Ooh, heel, and McCamey become acquainted.
One of the things that we've lost a bit over the past couple of weeks with Carfala Torre coming in and Kevin Carmichael. Really the brute force of objects on the back line for forward Madison. It's just the downright ability to defend for Colin McCamey, who's so comfortable popping off that back line up into the midfield, but certainly didn't rest on his laurels of what is the #1 most important thing for the center back in 1v1 defending.
Tossing a dude like a rag doll.
I mean, I was more focused on the beard on the back end of it.
Yeah.
Had one the last time I saw you.
It's been a minute. Oh, yellow card shown here.
And this is delaying their restarts on their own. A bit slow across the group. Last 10 minutes, argument from AJ Edwards. I just got on the field. I don't blame him.
I mean, really hadn't even interacted with the game yet. Count me as one who'd rather see it given as the 5 seconds. Well, the long throw to come. I found the top of the 6-yard box. It's quite the weapon. Edwards nods it forward again. You see Spokane whack it out to halfway. Oh, that had to be on point. It was. But still, Spokane spurred ahead. Dropped off by Heel. Hovey off the turn. Miller. Service whipped across, seeking Brett, whose time in this game may be limited now.
Timing's off. Nico Brett. That ball can't get any more perfect. Beautifully whipped in by Reggie Alexandra, but Nico Brett's slow to recognize the rotation of the ball and can't capitalize. You know, when they've been aggressive, Spokane,
here's John Brown.
best opportunities we've seen from him on the night. When they've slowed the game down and gone through the motions, moved side to side, they've triangulated better. But the quality of opportunity that has come out of their overall build, not as high.
It's comfortable from Lewis. Covey in reverse. As we approach the final quarter hour. Game comes to you from Spokane. And velocity falling behind Madison in the 31st minute. Ball toward Brett. He's able to nudge that further. Fitch back to collect it. Drive from Bignols. Injured player, they continue. It's John Brown. It's Bignols. Harms will collect it off the hop. And a stoppage to attend to the injured player. Sub will occur prior to the drop ball. That's Brett off. Third sub for Velocity. Second window utilized. And Marky Hernandez, his 7th year in League One, enters in.
And given the change at the wingback positions for forward Madison with Forbes and Edwards coming in, the game's slowing a touch in transition for Spokane. Thought Lee Wiedman would have exercised his right for his own reinforcements. Looking at the odometer, opts against it.
While Madison prepping a pair of changes, but won't make him just yet. John Brown getting jiggy with it. Lewis played it along, fanned away. It'll be Karamoko and Moccasin, subs 3 and 4 for Madison. End of the night for Bulma and Castro. The Flamingos look to see out their 1-0 lead. Further by the aforementioned Karamoko. Now awkward run into the block, into the box, retreats and leads to a corner.
And one wonders how aggressively Wiedman will be in the midfield. With just inside 15 minutes remaining. I'd like to see a higher line from both Andre Lewis and Neil Bignols. Releasing under Luis Hill.
Snap back across the face. That's out for a goal kick. It's 1-0 here to Madison. And a big reason why JT Harms on the other end has been impenetrable.
Forward Madison only 3 shots, 1 on target on the night. So efficient going forward, but perfect on the back line. JT Harms in goal. His 6 games, throw 2 clearances into it. Pretty clean with the ball at his feet. Has been the best player in a forward Madison uniform. I love the commanding presence that he constantly requires of not only himself as an individual, but of that back 3. That's a really aggressive rotation in McCamey, Torre, and Carmichael. And with his leadership, they have started to come into their own defensively as the League One season has gone on.
Averages about 2 saves a game, has 6 tonight. And a couple clean sheets this year. Would love to add his 3rd. Long way to go to get there. Swung through, chested down, collected by Lewis. He's got a quick trigger. Lewis get up high and catch Edwards. He's on the ground. It is given as a corner.
He's in a tough spot here. Edge Edwards, watch the left elbow. High on the temple. Oof, oh boy. That's one. Cross your fingers, take a deep breath, and hope that didn't catch him in the wrong spot. Nice to see him up quickly.
corner, Spokane. Had her back through by Miller. Didn't connect. Let's be careful here. There's the ball back to the attacking half. The home side. And an obvious push into the back. Miller, who is still forward.
And the worst part about it's unnecessary in the moment. Plenty of numbers behind the ball. Even if you don't win this first one, an opportunity to win the second, just hold serve. That's a mistake by young pro and Stephen Honor, recognizing that Cameron Miller is almost assuredly going to win the jump ball.
And now you see a set piece from a fairly dangerous position. Oldak has had some bright moments in service. Oldak offering. That got all the way through. 4 or 5 players in lilac. See this race across their face. You know, Dev, we're not even at the halfway point of the League One season. Obviously, you spoke to how Charlotte is on this tremendous run, but those things almost never last. We're talking about like 8 points separating first from 8th. That's only 3 games over the course of another nearly 20 to play.
Yeah, it's very tight, and as close in proximity as it is, which was the #1 takeaway for sure. The second one is, how many comments I know I've gotten, or 2 of them, which over the last 24 hours with you, about reigning champs 1 Knox and how they haven't hit their stride yet.
Right.
Sitting in 3rd, virtually just 2 points off the lead that is the pace set by Charlotte Independence. Mind you, both those teams 3 games in hand on Union Omaha, who's sitting in 2nd. The run in Open Cup, semi-decent at Brinks Tires Cup. Commanding position once again, and according to all the white noise, are nowhere near from a finished product.
And let's say this, Spokane and, for that matter, Boise are both still alive to get through in Brinks Tires. Get to that in a moment. Ball whipped through. Harms the first touch away. Back toward frame, and Nor got up. That a bit more convincing. Vignoles brought that in. Really well done. Service tossed across and caught by Harms. So Spokane plays Sacramento. A win would see them into the knockout, but they have to do so in regulation. They've got, you know, a win against Oakland, that is, plus a Sacramento loss, which would be against Boise in Boise, which adds to the intrigue there. So there's still 3 teams that could win that group. Lest we forget, Boise in a group with 3 championship squads, and they've already beaten 2 of them. Contact in the box enough to draw a whistle against Hernandez.
That's a great step sliding over here by Kerfalatori. What an addition the pro has been to this back line for forward Madison. Forced Kevin Carmichael to the right. He used to command the back 3, and the FAU grad, who was also a hockey player when he was at Elmira in Division II prior to the Division I. Just so smart in his overall decision making. He's an angles guy. Not as fleet of foot as some other center backs, but tough, rugged, and really difficult to break down in the moment.
Whoa. That's a referee trying to take control by showing yellows both ways. That kick of the ball.
Away. That should be a second.
Covey lost his head a little bit there by kicking that away. He's I'm not entirely sure how you don't give a yellow for that.
I would certainly agree with the decision to give them both a yellow. But as that sequence goes forth, to your point, 95+% of the games that you and I get an opportunity to witness, that ends up in a yellow card, second or not.
Well, the referee allows play to continue. 5 minutes and stoppage remaining. So Karamoko goes into the book alongside Covey. Lofted out into space. And Brown shielded off.
I notice as they go, though, they still lack multiple units moving together here, Spokane. You release, you throw Siobhan John Brown up in the 9 as he goes high. He has no support down underneath, and then defensively, there's no line that then follows in behind. Makes it really easy for forward Madison after they win the initial challenge to play out of the back.
And a very giftable reaction from Jelani Forbes. Seeds a foul at the edge of the penalty area.
I would share the confusion for Jelani Forbes. Dominant position. I mean, he's shifting to his left a little bit, but you could easily make the argument the contact's over the back shoulder forces the defender to the ground.
'87th minute. Madison turn away Spokane again. Armstead for the time being. Lob back up by Heel. And there he had her down and away. And this is getting a little bit in the weeds here at the end. Pushing and shoving, McCamey.
I don't see anything malicious about it on the back end for McCamey. It's incidental contact off a shove from his own defender. Leads Cameron Miller into his backside. Just moves you up the pecking order for the trainer after the match.
Well, floated back in. Maybe there's something to be had here. Knocked away by Lewis. Karamoko showing his worth since coming on. And we're getting down to that time. Most Americans have watched about 80 games in the last 2.5 weeks with 5+ minutes of stoppage time in each half. That's not going to be the case here. Or double digits like we saw earlier tonight. Spring down into the corner. Daniels clattering into the back of Karamoko. Is that? It's kind of funny. You never really think about offside in that situation. We have no one within 10 yards, but that was the argument that was made by Spokane. As we enter 3 minutes of additional time. Hey, look, within the standings, this isn't a huge upset, but when you consider the form, Madison in 8 games, 3 wins and a draw on the road this year, how good Spokane has been at home, 7 wins in 8. These are a huge 3 points that Madison is on the verge of claiming here in the League One table. Flicked ahead, and Harms has it.
To your point, Spokane, most points at home. That's a beautiful layoff.
And back toward the corner. Unless we forget, they lost 3 games in a row, and this would make back-to-back wins. So good confidence boost potentially coming here, and they've got a short turnaround before that game at Fort Wayne. And then a game at Oakland that could very well put them into the Final 8 in the USL Cup the following weekend.
Most points at home, Spokane. Second most points on the road, assuming they see this win out. Forward Madison, they trail only last year's League One title holders. One Knoxville, we'll see them in action tomorrow night against Boise. It just never really felt like they had any other idea than the first ones presented to us in the opening 20 minutes. Hold possession, try and work side to side, and slowly, I might add. It's not a stretch of the truth by any means, Mike, that when they opened it up, were more aggressive, more direct, they found success. They just didn't do it frequently enough. Forward Madison didn't have a ton of chances over the course of the night. Capitalized on the ones that they did. Won their individual battles defensively. And certainly JT Harms in goal was absolutely incredible.
The half-dozen saves that has held the clean sheet, at least for the time being. Hernandez chopped down. The outcome of the card. And Honor goes into the book.
He had the challenge earlier. Up over the back of Cameron Miller. As much as that foul is a cause for concern for the referee, he's got himself in trouble a couple of times tonight. Give him credit, though, working back the striker. Sitting on a 1-0 lead, coming to help out defensively.
Played short, gain a couple of yards, drive this into the box, header away. Back up by Waldeck. Sent high by Honor. We've gone the 3 minutes. How much time remains? It's got to get forward now. And move over, Spokane. You've got company. Madison, a 1-0 win over Spokane on the road. The own goal proves to be the difference, and the Flamingos continue to flock up the standings. What a clean sheet tonight from JT Harms. And the appreciation from his teammates, quite apparent. Strong performance from the second-year pro out of Indiana. And for as well as Spokane played on this night, nothing to show for it at all. JT Harms, his first year for the Mingos, picks up a vital clean sheet on the road. And Madison continues up the table. Back in a moment. USL on CBS Sports, presented by Best Western. Even in defeat, the Velocity faithful that came out on this national team match night still applauding as the fans do in return. But Madison a winner, 1-0. With Devin Kerr, Mike Watts. How about we wrap this one up, partner?
Spokane felt like they had a really good opportunity for success tonight, working in the wide areas, and that certainly started well in the opening 20 minutes of this game. While they couldn't do it in transition, when they were pinned down deep, they did have options inside the box. The bad news was they were slow in their overall decision-making and allowed forward Madison to get back behind the ball. So let's open the game up. Right around the 22-minute mark, beautiful ball back in behind. This is what they needed more of. You pinch Madison deeper, you make them face negatively, you allow your players to attack head-on, and instead, a little bit slow at the end, once again, left wanting for more for Madison's goal. It's going to look like it's just a simple ball from the outside, but it's all about the movement from that man that just left the left side of your screen, and Josh Boma. Really active on the front line in the midfield. His movement off the ball gives the opening opportunity and the opening goal, although it would be credited as an own goal to Gagi on the back line for Spokane. A response coming in the second half. Again, you're more direct, you have better opportunities. The problem over the course of the evening was, even though Spokane had 16 shots, that included 14 inside the box and 7 that hit the 8x8, they didn't account for the individual brilliance that was the goalkeeping by forward Madison's goalkeeper, JT Harms. A career performance on the night, 6 saves to his name, 2 clearances, best player on the field for either squad.
And now both sides level on 23 points, 5th in League One. Next League One match on your TV, Boise and Knoxville on E2, like pink numbers on Cow Kits. You won't see that here tomorrow. Instead, you'll see it on ESPN2. Next, USL on CBS Sports Network, Jacksonville and Pittsburgh next July 15th. Coming up next, SBD World's Strongest Man for Devin Kerr, our entire crew. In Spokane, beyond Mike Watts saying this, a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports.